Okie dokie, time now for some nitty and some gritty. I honestly think we're on the cusp of a real sea change here. I'm not saying this is going to change the 1,000-yard mid-range accuracy world as much as the PPC did in its day. But we're still on the cusp of a realignment in the force. In my world, this case should be a 100,000 psi case being inflicted on a world of 80,000 psi existing stuff. Proven. Absolutely proven paradigm. Any BR, 22BR, 6BR, 7BR, 30BR, doesn't matter what it is, rules in its weight class because it's a high performance 80,000 psi cartridge. Period. And a little 30BR will always be the 308. It'll stinking deer hunt with light bullets almost as good as the 308. It'll almost match the 308 in velocity because that extra, the 308's a 45 to 60,000 psi case. Now the only exception to that I have right here, this is something called the 308 Palma, which every time I say 308 I have to back up and realize that, okay, there is a hot rod in the full-size 308, and this essentially turns the 308 into a 30-06. There's no other way to say it. This is an 80,000 psi or 75,000 psi 308, as iterated by Lapua. Small flash hole, small primer pocket. That has to be included in the paradigm, but that's changed. This is relatively new. This is all stuff that's come out in response to the PPC BR conundrum. And I contend that there's a possibility, I'll show this box one more time, I'd already thrown it in the garbage because I've been working on this thing. This is the new 277 Fury case. It's made in pieces. It's got a head on it. It's made out of steel. I'm not gonna, we'll show it here when I pan down. But suffice it to say that this may not be the rise, this may not be incrementally as big a change as the 6 PPC was, but it's gonna be big, I predict. I don't think it'll ever take the world by storm because most people aren't as stupid as I am. But if I was young and I was competing, or if I build one of these for a, we'll see. We'll see where the next few years goes. So far my predictions haven't been wrong in 20 years. I've watched these changes come in. I've watched the 6BR go from a joke cartridge to a, you can never make 2900 with 105, to a, holy crap, to a, I think we're going to start a website just to celebrate this sucker because it's so fan. A website which I got kicked off of forever for touting how good the 6BR is. I made a statement that said that in the real world, the 6BR will always, it'll actually beat that cartridge that I started my shooting career with, the 240. That's the first money when I say started my shooting career, that's not, I started my shooting career with a slingshot. But at one point I got time and money and passion and I spent, 20 grand exploring the 243 Ackley improved because it was all that. It was the light gun, the no recoil that would beat the 30 Bear, there's all kinds of history there. And it always sucked. It never made good pressure. I tried, I still got bags and bags of 6 Remington, 6mm Remington cases. I tried everything, and then I found the small primer pocket, tough Lapua brass, small flash hole, the inordinately outperformative cartridges that then spawned the 6.5BR. the 6x47 was the first one. And somewhere around that time came the 308 Palma, where they took the Big Daddy and put the little primer in the little flash hole. These are all ways to bring the pressure up to where they're workable. But this latest conniption, when it came on the scene, not even on the scene, it was bandied around for military contracts for a year before I got to see one. The minute I ordered mine right from Sig Sauer, 4 years ago. And I ended up having to buy loaded rounds and tear them apart. And I think we're going to start the thing by showing, I'm going to pan down. I just think it's time to pan down. Oh wait, no, we're not going to pan down. Yeah, we're going to pan over. I'm going to show you some of the stuff. Just bring it more into frame. This is just some of the stuff that I've used to make my first cases. This is a hand press marked 6x47 Lapua with its parts and particles here. This is my 6x47 competition Lapua setup. This is my 6.5 Creedmoor, I think. I do have competitive guns chambered, set up. I mean, I could screw together my green glue in 600-yard main competition gun. I've got 2 or 3 6.5 Creedmoor barrels for it that are totally competitive. I haven't shot it because, again, the pus bags of the world shut the whole world down because in their guts they're all freaking Democrats. In the news out here, this of course is filmed before you guys view it. It just happened to Alec Baldwin just went back to work. I think I might do an episode just on the reactions I read across the internet to what Alec Baldwin did when he shot and killed a girl on his movie set. People are fascinating, but my people, by that I mean shooters and sportsmen and the people that supposedly vote with me, drive me insane. Because Pogo popularized this in a cartoon, but the idea has been around for a long time. I have met the enemy, and it is us. I know I have to say that every few months, but I have to make you people think. Without learning to think like this and go on these cool journeys, we go out and vote. My state just banned ARs. Banned! As in, my governor got up on the news yesterday and said, nobody needs an AR. Well, you know what? Nobody needs fake boobs either, but they sure aren't banning them. So, enough of my rant. The third box over here, and I'm not gonna hone in on these. This is my BR loading. I don't know if you can read that. Doesn't matter. Whole piles of BR. Man, I spent so much time with the BR. These are the forming dies. A portion of the forming dies. This is actually all the dies that I had to modify to, because I'm moving up here anyway, I'll move away from there and I'll move up here closer to where I'm just crap on the table. Use this die box to set my camera focus. This is 4 separate dies. This one happens to be a 30-06 AI. This one happens to be a 308. I went to my die boxes. Every one of these, you saw the stacks of them here, and there were actually 3 more. These are the dies that it took me to make up dies, to form dies, to get started on this project. To truly start on this project, I'm going to have to either move some stuff. Well, I might just, the only reason this was out is because this is a box of 6.5 Creedmoor. Small flash hole, small primer pocket, small rifle primer pocket is what's marked on here. And this is one of the 2 cases that's of the correct size that I can use this new SIG case to make these. And this I've shot enough, and I've certainly shot enough stuff around it, that I can baseline, I can make some 6.5 Creedmoor cases with this base case. Then I can test them head to head in the same gun. Boom. Which one's faster? Which one's more powerful? Which one more? And in this case, speed and velocity are going to be important issues, because this is about making something cool. It's not about a target round. See, not everybody's intrigued by target stuff. Not everyone gives a rat's patootie about BRs and PPCs. But I'm going to start by showing you some of the testing equipment that I'm going to be using. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this. As I go through, I may build some 6.5 Creedmoor cases all the way back to 308 Palma, just to really build the stoutest case on the planet that's available for the Creedmoor. But I put this up just to show that this is the baseline of our testing. This is where we're starting, this is what we're doing, and we're going to give this thing a fair shot. I don't evaluate stuff. You don't generally see me, I don't consider myself but there's nobody else in the world more qualified to do what we're doing. We're using the old, boy, this is the test mule of all test mules right here. This thing goes back so many years. This is actually a Nanooked Atlas Tactical. This is what I call the thing. And the thing is, a legend in my testing. I have tested so much stuff with the thing, but for now I'm going to use it as a prop. And we are going to, I've got to get it set just right so that I can, oh crap, I'm going to show you over the course of the next episode or two what it takes to take this from the bare bones base case to something I can use. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to much help people that are going to try to use this for, say, 6.5 Creedmoor. If you want to enhance the performance of your Creedmoor, if the whole thing works, you're going to have to learn how to fireform cases. Now fireform, Wildcat. You're going to have to learn how to form cases, not fireform cases. This is a selection of the bushings that I used and that I had to use to get this thing to work. But first of all, I had these out just to let you know that I used over half of these in my experimentation. And at this point, I have managed to create cases. Haven't fired anything yet, I'm not that far along, but I'm pretty stinking close. And I am going to show you step by worthy step how I turn this case into this case. The first thing I've got to show you is, one of the reasons originally I was gonna borrow or beg or I'm kind of stupid, so I was gonna go shoot these, and then I realized this ain't gonna happen. I'm never gonna have any reason to shoot this as a 277 Fury, as a 277 SIG. So I went out and pulled them, and the first thing I've got to share with you is this is one of the reasons why factory guns can't shoot. This is $78 ammunition. This is highest of high grade, blah 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 there. Don't even know, don't even care. I just know that it was $75 a box plus shipping, and I get something that when I tear it apart has got conventional bullets that are irretrievably wrecked. These bullets, I'm trying to get them in the light so you can actually see how badly ringed this thing is. That bullet can't shoot. It's bent, it's bananaed, it's crooked, it's crimped on there so freaking tight that I'm going to take these out and stand back next time I'm burning brush and just hurl this whole container into the burn pile. I don't really care what the powder is. Part of me rebels against that because I grew up with hand-me-down shoes. I don't throw anything away. I'm looking at this powder and I'm going, oh man, I could, you know what? I could burn it. I'm old and rich now compared to what I grew up with. And realistically, there's nothing to be gained from that mess. Those bullets are irretrievably destroyed. If I ever seeded a bullet, that will show you why crimping bullets is deleterious to accuracy, to say the least. And I think at this juncture, I'm going to go ahead and show you, I did sacrifice one case. So far, I think what you're going to see here, I'll just slide it in the picture spinner. I think there should be oh, I've got a couple over there being formed. I haven't irretrievably made useless any cases at this point. But this, since I have the camera up here close, I'm going to go ahead, I milled one of these off just to show you how this case is built, because this, I'm making some assumptions here that this thing's going to be worthy when in fact it might not. This might be a video that any of you who are really interested in doing something like this, you might come back and revisit this. I'm going to try to get the light right so that you can see that this is not simply a cartridge case pressed into. You can see the knob, you can see the contours there. I'm trying to hold this right. This is a cutaway case after I've got it formed down. Put a lot of work into this thing. It's neck down and necked down and neck down about halfway through the process. And I decided I wanted to go in and look at this area here and see if this attachment of the brass portion to the steel portion was worth all this heartache I'm going through. This is a lot of work. But I do believe that that attachment is about as good as it can be. So there's a cutaway of the actual, I did this, the last time I did this on a 50 BMG project to show just what a mess the, what, A-tip? I don't remember what, a 750 A Max. It's got a little aluminum tip in there, and I milled it open to show you the extent of the mess. But anyway, this is a handy, neat little prop, a neat little tool to show you just what we're up against here. And we're working on clearing all this stuff out so that I can start showing you the actual process. In the last video, I made a comment that all the prior videos that I've posted, 220 videos, I got 80 hours of footage up there in which we, bit by bit, we cover so many of the things that we're doing here. But this bad boy has pretty much tested the parameters of my wildcatting ability. Wildcatting is one thing, but wildcatting with the avowed, oh man, goal in mind of the Wildcat being so much better than its parent case that we can't even talk about it. We're taking something that's a junk, this is funny, just occurred to me. The original PPC is built on the 220 Russian sniper case, which was designed specifically for military application as a super high pressure. Higher pressure than anything prior had been. A sniper cartridge is smaller than the 223. And it's a Russian cartridge. But it did all the things that a target shooter needs. And it ended up being the case chosen when the PPC was spawned, and it's just been an unqualified success. So now we're taking the same thing, and it just occurred to me that we're starting with another military case. This Sig Sauer entrant is for the 277, 288, 68, whatever concept for a lightweight round to be able to carry around and use in wartime. So here we are again. We're taking another military application case, and I'm going to go through with you step by step. And we are going to show how we form this, how many steps it takes to form it, and get it down to the point where we can go through some of the trials and errors and the twists and the vagaries of this to turn this big quasi-military 277 case into this 6.5 Creedmoor case, which is one of the iterations. By now most of you know what a 6.5 Creedmoor is. This is the little 6.5 Creedmoor. Right here. A high pressure, hypervelocity 6.5 based on the pioneer work was done by the 220 Russian. And this is the newest, latest, greatest entrant, which is larger because it's sized up to 27, 270, 277. So it's very easy for any of you that want to. And I haven't even done any of these 6.5s. Like, I'm forming down the hard one. I'm forming down the little 6x47 Lapua to prove concept. And then if I decide to explore these, I will. But if not, all you got to do is start doing what I'm doing over here with the my proven 6x47 case, and stop halfway through and go shoot it. This has got the 6x47 case takes twice as many tweaks as this one does. In the next video or two, I'll show you some of the steps and what we've done. But I just wanted to show you some of the possibilities. This is the 6x40 or the 6.5 Creedmoor that I actually use in competition. This is the length, the size, the breadth, the width. That's the cut. It isn't blown out yet. Those aren't fired. Doesn't matter.